Hey everyone, this is Phil, and today I want to talk to you about photographic zines. I appreciate zines a lot because not only do they put a physical, tangible product in your hands from your photography, but also it puts the photos in a sequence that you can control just like a musical album. So I want to go over 3 zines that I've purchased lately and show you some of the pictures and talk to you about the photographers behind them. Fortunately, I was able to reach all 3 of these photographers and first get permission from them, and also it's resulted in a few really nice conversations about the work and about the way they approach them. So the first zine I want to show you is right in here. And the reason why I'm showing you this packaging as well is because I really appreciated some of the aspects of it when I purchased it last week. I purchased this from a local art book store that specializes in photography. It's called So Books. And the nice thing is they had all this extra stuff in here. So these are postcards for upcoming photo exhibits. And I really appreciate that they're putting these in there because these exhibits are not organized by Sobooks. They're just promoting these photography exhibits that are being held in Tokyo. And that's something I really appreciate about our photography scene. Everyone just promotes each other's works, and I think it really lifts the whole scene as a whole up, and I really enjoy that. The zine that I want to show you is Tokyo Nude by Rumi Ando. I found this book via a Instagram post from Sobooks and immediately went over there to purchase it because it's such a unique vision that really fascinated me, and I really find this book very enjoyable to look at. Rumi Ando is a 35-year-old photographer and retouch artist living in Tokyo. She was born in Okayama, but went to school and currently works in Tokyo, and Tokyo is the main theme of her work as well. In the artist's statement, Ando describes being drawn to the otherworldly feel of Tokyo when there are no people around. Times like a park in the morning or days of heavy snow. Tokyo Nude depicts views of Tokyo devoid of any people. Something feels off. Upon closer inspection, the viewer notices that Ando has used her skills as a retoucher to remove the many traces of human inhabitants. No advertisements, AC units, antennae, or even windows are to be seen. It creates an almost abstract cityscape that I just get sucked into. It's something that's very pleasing to me because I enjoy architecture, but it's also cleaned up in a way that almost makes it feel like abstract modern art. And I really enjoy looking at these photos. They're reproduced in a very large format, spanning 2 pages of each. And I could just look at these for hours. I just get sucked into these surreal cityscapes. Check out the artist's Instagram for more of these images. And I will put a purchase link for the book in the description as well. The second book that I want to show you is Uragawa by Wyatt Clough. Wyatt is a filmmaker and photographer from Toronto, Canada, and he mainly works in the music industry, documenting live shows as well as directing music videos. He uses the medium of film photography for his personal work to explore his self-expression. Uragawa was shot primarily on 35mm film through a Leica M6, a couple of the shots being from a Mamiya 645. The shots are an expression of the other side Wyatt often feels stuck in because of his depression. He calls it a permanent, melancholy distance between you and where you would probably rather be. The photos are taken at night and depict scenes devoid of people. Many are long exposures creating light trails. All of them are given an otherworldly quality by the lights emanating from homes, train stations, and vending machines. It feels like Wyatt has stopped time, leaving the viewer to wander through this alternate version of Tokyo with the diffuse light as their only companion. The book has a somber tone, and many frames convey an incredible amount of emotion, of the anxiety and that out-of-place feeling that Wyatt expresses in the foreword. It really feels like it is something he had to express and share in order to fully understand and hopefully alleviate. Wyatt is a friend of mine, and I'm really happy to have found this work. It is very different from what I usually convey in my photos, and it's a really interesting perspective, both from a visual and a psychological standpoint. I would put his Instagram in the description below, and I don't know if he still has copies of the zine to purchase, but if he does, you will find the link on his Instagram. On to the last book I want to show you guys. This is Days I Remember by Herbie Yamaguchi. So Herbie Yamaguchi is a name that I was familiar with. It's, if you're reading any photo magazines over here, he pops up quite a lot, and I, for some reason, had never really looked into his work. Then one day I found a different book by his, which is called Layered, at a Leica store in Ginza, and I flipped through it and I was quite fascinated with it, but I didn't end up buying it. And then the other day I stopped by a gallery in Tokyo, near Jinbocho, that's called Super Labo, and they actually put out this book. So if you can see this down here, there's a little Su down here, and that stands for Super Labo. And I found this book. Herbie Yamaguchi was born and raised in Tokyo, and after having graduated from university, having studied economics, he moved to London in 1973. While in London, he became intimately connected with the local music scene. He actually became friends and shared an apartment with Boy George for a while. Of course, he reflected that in his photography as well. So there's a lot of portraits by him of music stars from the 70s and 80s. And after moving back to Tokyo, he continued to have very strong connections with the music scene. So he has actually shot a lot of album covers for very, very well-known Japanese music artists as well. And that is a large part of his body of work that I was, until very recently, completely unaware of. So what I was aware of, and what he is really, really well known, is his black and white street and portrait photography, which is very popular with photography fans for its unique, very warm, very affectionate view that it gives of the subjects. Days I Remember is a loose collection of moments that Yamaguchi remembered for having resonated with him in a positive way. Such moments can come at any time or place, whether in his own home, through a car window, or during a talk or performance. By recording the moment on film, Yamaguchi hopes to convey the same effect it had on him, making his heart flutter with joy, and maybe affecting just a little bit of positivity on society or people. Such a statement can feel hollow at times, but I think you can find evidence of this statement being heartfelt in many of these images. Many shots that are presumably of strangers emanate just as much warmth as those of friends. My favorite is this shot of the audience of a musical performance. The joy is palpable. Fun fact, Herbie Man is also where Yamaguchi took his artist pseudonym from. I feel that all of the pictures in this book kind of just exude a warmth and a connection to the subject that you can instantly feel, whether it's of strangers on the street or friends or just a model. I don't know actually how many of these shots are modeled. A few clearly are. I think some of the shots of schoolgirls might have been during some kind of photographic seminar or clinic, but it is kind of hard to tell the difference between which of these are modeled and which are just random people on the streets. So that is something that I think Yamaguchi is really known for and liked for. He just has that connection to the subject in his photos, and he has been described to me as a very, very friendly and approachable person that just has that instant connection with whoever he approaches. And I actually emailed him to get permission to show some of the pictures in this book, and he was very, very welcoming and very friendly. So I really enjoy the physical qualities of all of these books. Obviously this Yamaguchi book is very, I think, expensively produced, so it's not stapled, it is actually stitched with thread. It has this embossed gold foil on the cover. It has very, very nice paper, but even the more budget books on this, I think the Tokyo Nude book was like 3,000 yen. This still has like a pearl finish on the cover. It's very nice paper as well. It is stapled in a way that it folds flat, which is perfect for these images, obviously, and it's very nice quality too. The Uragawa zine by Wyatt Clough is something that I really like because it fits perfectly in a bookshelf. So it has a flat back, it's perfect bound. I think this is probably paperback format. I really like the logo that he put on the back side. So overall, I really enjoy having zines in a physical form with photography. It is something that I want to try at some point for sure. I've actually been working on a zine of my toy photos, so you can see I've actually made a sort of mock-up of some of my shots that I want to put into printed form at some time, but I haven't gotten around to it, especially with shipping right now being because of you know what. I wasn't gonna make something if I can't send it out to people afterwards. So it's been on the back burner for a while, but I really want to pick it back up and hopefully make something physical out of my photos at some point. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that, if you would be interested in getting a zine from me. At some point I really want to make it. We'll see whenever that time comes to pass. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every one of you. And make sure to hit the like button if you liked it. If you would subscribe to the channel, I would be really, really happy. And I hope to see you again.